I'm Judge Andrew Napolitano, and you are on Freedom Watch with my guest and good friend Melissa Francis, co-host of After the Bell on Fox Business, 4 p.m. Eastern every weekday. So, you're a smart, well-educated woman.
Thank you.
Are you, well, I know this because we work together. Are you offended at the things Donald Trump says about women? Like, if Hillary Clinton were a man, she wouldn't have 5% of support from Democrats.
Well, some of the things he says are just true, and that's where he gets by. I mean, I think that's one that just rings, there's some truth in it. I would say over all this about Donald Trump, there is nothing he could do now to erase the things he said about women in the past.
Okay.
I mean, I think he's probably a chauvinist based on everything he said. I don't know how much I care about that. You know, I'm not voting for a husband. I'm voting for a commander-in-chief. I wouldn't marry him. I wouldn't date him. I don't love the way he looks at women. I don't think there's anything he could do to sort of gloss over that. It reminds me of the religion issue. You know, he can't really go back and convince people that he feels a different way than he's always behaved in the past.
How do you think suburban moms, the very, very soccer moms, very, very crucial vote. Sometimes they vote for Democrats, sometimes they vote for Republicans.
Right.
They're not as well educated as you are. They have a couple of the kids, they have a husband who's working. Are they offended by this, or do they overlook it the way you do?
I think that they're too busy doing everything they do all day, and that they're not looking at him as the president of women. They're looking at him as maybe being the president of everybody. And like a lot of moms, like myself, I care about the economy and national security. After that, things get a lot blurrier. I mean, it starts to come down to what can the president really control? What does he need to do right away? I think our federal government does a lot of harm to the economy that's very distressing to me. I like his policy there better than Hillary Clinton.
Do you, Melissa Francis, think that Hillary wouldn't have 5% of the vote if she were a man? Stated differently, is it fair for her to say, I'm the champion of women because I'm a woman?
Looking at it that way, absolutely not, because I don't feel like she does a lot of good for women. I feel like she does a lot of good for one woman herself. I don't think that she's looking out for the rights of anyone as much as the power of her own family. I really, obviously, have a very low opinion of her morals and ethics based on the things that she's done with the foundation, based on the things that she did as Secretary of State. You know, for her to go home and go to bed, snug in her bed, turn out the lights and go to sleep on the night of Benghazi, I don't care if you feel like it's her fault, it wasn't this and that. It's the idea that she wasn't at her post. Struggling. I don't want to put her in charge of the whole army.
Her not being at her post, her apparently using the power of the sovereign state, she was the Secretary of State, to do favors for foreign people and foreign governments so that they would contribute heavily to her husband's foundation. All those things are fair game because they reflect her judgment. Is Donald Trump demeaning women fair game because that reflects his judgment?
You mean, should he be allowed to talk about it? I think it's fair game to talk about it, if that's what you mean. It's fair game to talk about the things he said in the past about women. And I think they do reveal probably his true feelings, because it was said at a time when he wasn't running for president. So you tend to put more weight in that. I just don't think, it doesn't top, I don't like it about him. It doesn't top my list of concerns. I want ISIS taken care of. I want the economy taken care of.
So you are proof that it's not just angry white men that support Donald Trump, but educated white women.
I would put this caveat in there, because I don't know that I'm out there saying I'm a supporter of Donald Trump.
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I want to see how it shakes out. I know that I really don't like the way Hillary has behaved on national security and on the economy. And he looks like a better choice on both of those two issues, which are my foremost issues. So I would take him over her for those reasons. But last question. Is the attitude about women, whether it's Rosie O'Donnell, Megyn Kelly, or his daughter, is that attitude indicative of some personality flaw that the public should be aware of? Stated differently, can Hillary legitimately exploit that? Yes. And you expect her to do so? I do. I just don't know how. I don't know how far she's going to get with that. Absolutely, I do think it's a character flaw. I mean, I think it reflects how he truly feels. It's fair to talk about. It's fair to play the bites. I think Megyn's question was perfectly fair. All of those things were fair, and they were game, and they are out there, and they're baked in, and the public's seen them, and it's reflected in his numbers, and it's just not the foremost thing. I mean, I wouldn't go on a date with the guy. Understood. There you go. Understood. You're a very lucky woman, because David Asman is the nicest person in the building with whom to work. He is. He's the best. It's a great show at 4 o'clock. Thank you. Melissa, all the best. My pleasure. Thank you very much. From New York, defending freedom, I'm Judge Andrew Napolitano. See you next time.